Hey, welcome back to art class with Mr. Darby. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use a straw to blow ink across the paper in order to create a silhouette scene of the beach with a lighthouse and some dunes and some seagrass growing out of the dunes. You're going to love it. And we just have to keep one thing in mind, and that's safety. So how are we going to be blowing through the straw? And how are we going to clean our area so that we keep the germs at zero? So I'll be working on that here. While you're at home though, if you don't want to use ink or you don't have ink, you can use black watercolor paint. Black watercolor paint works really well, but it's a little more transparent. That just means that you can see through it. It might look a little more gray. You'll need a watercolor set anyway, so if you have your watercolor set, you'll be able to do your sunset, which is purple, red, orange, and yellow. And then you can use the black from that set to blow the seagrass and paint the rest of your scene. So I'm going to grab my things, you grab your tools. You'll need paintbrush, pencil, paper, watercolor set, probably a paper towel to dry off with, probably a cup of water so that you can change your brush's colors without ruining your paints, things like that. Grab it, let's go, I'm ready to roll. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about here is my sunset. And before we can start blowing through a straw, before we can start worrying about the black ink, we need to talk about having the painting dry. So the background is going to be purple to red, and red to orange, and orange to yellow. And the reason that we paint in this order is so that you can see this here. Purple comes first, and purple can mix with red because purple has red in it. Red can mix with orange because orange has red in it. But we cannot mix purple and orange together because purple and orange mixed make brown. It's going to be like a gray-brown color. It doesn't look good. The other thing you don't want to do is mix purple and yellow together. So we have to go in this order exactly, or our colors will get muddy and brown, and that's not going to be the beauty of the sunset that we're looking for. So the order is purple, red, orange, and yellow. And you can blend the orange and the yellow together, and you can blend the orange and the red together, and you can blend the red and the purple together. You just have to be careful that the purple doesn't touch the orange and the purple doesn't touch the yellow as well. Let's go ahead and move to step 2. In this little bottle here, I have my black India ink, and I have my straw, and I'm ready to lay my ink along the bottom edge here so I can blow it up and make it look like grass. But before I do that, I want to take a minute and use a pencil to draw my lighthouse and where my grass is going to be. And then I can draw some birds in the sky too, and we'll be able to paint those after we're done blowing our ink and letting that dry. So I'll take a minute and I'll draw right along the edge here. This will be where I'll put my ink to start. Then we'll come over here and we'll come up about 2/3 of the page and we'll make our lines for our lighthouse. And it's going to be in black paint, so it'll be okay. It'll show up much better later. A lighthouse doesn't come together at the top, and it shouldn't be tipped too much so that it doesn't look like a teepee or like a triangle, okay? Then you draw a curved line here along the bottom, and it comes up, and it's almost like a curved rectangle right here. If you want to, you can put little windows in here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's make an arch and a line across it. And we'll come down and we'll make another arch and a line across it. And you wouldn't want to put stripes on this because it's a silhouette, which means it's just the black outline of the shape. We can put the windows because we can leave the windows open and the color of the sky showing through. All right, and then I'll do one more here, a little bigger at the bottom. Okay. And I can do a box coming out, and we won't know for sure if we'll see this box, but this will be like the entrance to the lighthouse. So I'm also going to draw the roof, and then I need a diagonal line. So you have a box shape and a rectangle shape, but this is going to be more like part of a parallelogram or a 3D roof of the house. Let's go back up to the top of the lighthouse. A straight line coming up to make a box where the actual light is. We can draw the outline of the light as an oval. We can draw our rail coming across like this. And we can draw the top of the rail here, and we'll do all of this work with our paintbrush later on. At the top of this, we can make another rectangle shape, and then find the middle, come up a little bit, and connect to the middle to make the top of the lighthouse. Oh, let's put a little lightning rod on it. All right, so the top of the lighthouse has to have a roof, and that'll be it. We can put our birds here, which are like V shapes. You can put a little body on it if you want to. And we'll do 1, 2, let's do another one small and far away, 3. Give it a body also. So we can draw those out, all right? We'll be painting them later. Let's grab our ink and we'll get started inking. Okay, so we remove the cap and then we can start the ink process. It comes out fast, so we move quickly. The paper has been taped down, the ink is laying here, and we just start slowly blowing. All right, let's slowly blow so that we can spread our ink out to look like grass. At this point, I could take my brush, make sure it's dried off, and I can use the rest of the ink that's left over to kind of fill in the bottom and fill in all these little spaces. And some of these taller pieces of grass are going to happen just because I got so much ink on there, but that's okay. And they could also be turned into trees if you'd rather, but I like it just the way it is. So the way we've got it painted right now, we've got room to add our building and our lighthouse that's attached to it, and then the roof, and we'll paint the birds. I'm going to get a smaller brush than this though, because I think that with my birds I'll have a difficult time trying to get them nice and skinny and small. Now it's time, and I know that this is still wet here, but we're making it all black, so it doesn't really matter. Just mind your hands so that you don't run it through the other grass that you already blown on. All right, we can use watercolor paints like I was saying. I'm still using India ink. I have it off to the left here, but the next step is to just trace along the edge of your lighthouse, trace along the window, and we're outlining it. We want to keep it so that we don't make messes. And there you have our fantastic looking silhouette project of our lighthouse with our seagrass and our dunes. We used our straw to blow the India ink across the paper in order to create the grass. You might have used watercolor paint for the whole thing, and that's plenty good. We also use the India ink on our lighthouse. You can see how nice and dark it gets. You can't see the sunset through it. And we use it also to paint our birds. I hope you enjoyed drawing and painting with me and spending some time making art instead of sitting and watching somebody else on YouTube play a video game that you like. Keep on arting, keep on practicing. You know, practice makes progress. I'll see you guys again soon, and in the meantime, keep safe and keep up the hard work.